Welcome, guys, to today's matchup between G7 Mirage and OMT. We're already underway in pick bans, with the first ban phase already finishing up. Lee Sin, Fiora, Swain banned away in favor of G7 Mirage, and OMT opting to ban out the Shen, the Silas, and the Gragas. I am once again joined on the desk today by TDS, and it can be the director of PBS here. So TDS, what do you think of this pig ban so far?
If you see, just looking at the bans, first of all, the fact that none of the let's call it OP picks of the meta are banned away. Xinjiao is still open, Diana, Viego, a lot of interesting room for picks to go through. They go for supports on the first round, Lulu and Nautilus being more of a secured position support, because he's certainly going towards the support position. The Lulu can be flexed around, so we yet don't know what, but Xinjiao coming through for OMT, and Olaf as an answer by G7 Mirage. I'm interested that they didn't go for either Diana or Viego, that are kind of the more popular picks, and then Kaisa.
Yeah, Olaf actually gonna be able to run right through the Nautilus. I don't think that's too bad of a pick, actually. I actually really like that pick. Here does beat up the Xinjiao in the early game as well. Does have a lot of prio in the early game. You've got the mid to late game insurance with the Lulu. Kaisa doing gonna be doing very well on top of it all. And yeah, oh, the Varus locked in. We have seen this from OMT in the past too, and from what I remember, it was kind of limited success. So I'm kind of surprised that they're returning to this Varus pick.
Kind of, yeah, it was kind of just win the lane, but after the laning phase, kind of not so much that you would expect from the Varus. It felt like lackluster in those games that they do play the Varus, but coming now into the series, the Varus can end up being important. So I'm okay with them going for that. And then touching a little bit on the Lulu Olaf, I think Olaf it's best pick when they have an enchanter to support him as well as they can. And having the Olaf Lulu as a 2v2 in mid lane, I think it's so strong. So I think the going for those two picks is really nice. Then into the bans, it's Claire, Yone, and Aatrox and another champion. A lot of respect bans, mostly just targeting the champion pools of certain players, instead of just going directly in terms of what could be strong or what could affect your composition as a whole, which I think for these two particular teams it makes much more sense, since we've seen that they have an open pool to choose between champions, and the fact that even if you put them on something else, it's not like they are going to underperform. So I feel like just targeting their best champions would be better, and just hope that you can win against their other champions.
Yeah, I would agree with that for the most part. The one caveat to that I would say is look at what the enemy champions play, and then look at what the team comp that they're trying to build around is, because you might want to give away their best champions specifically because it doesn't really work with their team comp. So that player might do well, but once the team fights happen in the mid to late game, then they're going to start losing a lot of agency in that regard. So there's definitely arguments for both sides, and we'll just have to see which direction they take it.
Yeah, and what was... Oh, it's Kench?
It's
it seems to be... Yeah, it's Tam Kench. It didn't pick, so... no worries there, it's Tam Kench. Tam Kench has been seeing a lot of prominence in the top lane, and he's been a strong champion to a certain degree now that people have actually figured out how to play with him. He also received a couple of bots, so it makes sense that they are prioritizing the Tam Kench. And it seems G7 Mirage wants to play with the Trundle. The Trundle can be flexed. It's not just a jungle pick, but it can be flexed towards 4 position. It has been played a lot on that
Also
as
could
well.
be a top lane
And
as well.
it could be a top lane, yeah, as well. Against the Tahm Kench particularly, I feel like you do have opportunities with the Trundle to out-trade the Tahm Kench. And if the Pyke does go through, I feel like it will be Pyke support, Trundle top, Olaf jungle, and Lulu mid.
I think that's exactly what it's going to be, and also Trundle will be going probably Divine Sunder with Hullbreaker, looking to be more of a split push threat. However, he could go with a more traditional, just tanky Titanic Hydra, Divine Sunder, and then not go the Hullbreaker. But I mean, you do have kind of the option with that Trundle being able to just beat down pretty much anyone in a 1v1. To be perfectly honest. Stealing stats like that makes you an instant threat.
And that's also why I think against the Tahm Kench pick that the OMT did say that it was, I feel like it actually makes a lot of sense. You have a lot of stats to steal from him, and the Grey Health, even though it's a good way to counteract if they try to burst you out, with the stats taken away, you have to be way more on point with that Grey Health, because if not, you can actually just die if the Trundle does steal your stats. So I like the Trundle pick here, and I feel like overall with the composition, it does make sense because the Lulu going mid lane, you can have the Lulu supporting the Olaf, and to a certain degree the Trundle, and you have the Kai'Sa and the Pyke that are kind of dive bodies that will be able to threaten the backline, with the Olaf that will become invulnerable, so no C can touch him, so he can also threaten the backline. So I think overall they have a correct idea and can attack both the front lane and the back lane really well with those champions.
The one thing that we're going to actually have to watch with top lane at least is while Trundle, once he gets that Divine Sunder, will be able to duel Tahm Kench, he won't be able to before that. Tahm Kench should be able to
kill him.
He should have lane prio over Trundle.
Yeah.
In the early game, so it's just a matter of
patterns are screwed.
I was just going to say, Trundle just has to be very careful with how he plays the pre-6, and I feel like that's true for a lot of those Trundle matchups, but especially into somebody like Tahm Kench, who, if he gets a lead, can just run you down using that Tongue Lash.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something about the Tahm Kench that even against in other matchups, he just has much more of a dominance because of his trading patterns being so good with the Tongue Lash, with the health that you get from the Grey Health. And the fact that his damage is much more like, you don't expect the damage that he does to a certain degree, but if you can play around that, then you won't lose that much. And Trundle, like you're saying, he just needs to survive to level 6, and then pretty much you can win against the Tahm Kench. I feel like you also have to consider that in the 2v2, I feel like I would favor at the first 5 levels Tahm Kench and the Jinzhao, but after that, I think it's completely run by the Trundle and the Olaf if they do fight as a 2v2. So really important to the first 5 to 6 minutes of how each team plays it around, because I feel like that can define what will end up happening later on.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I wonder also if Kai'Sa or Olaf, or I guess Trundle could do it too, if who is going to, and are they going to get a
Grievous Wounds?
No, I mean, well, Grievous Wounds, sure, but I'm talking about a Serpent's Fang.
Oh.
To deal with the Grey Health Shield that would come out from Tahm Kench, will we see Trundle just split? Because I mean, we've tried to project G7 Mirage, and they kind of just do whatever they want. So I feel like a Trundle building a Serpent's Fang is definitely not out of their character.
Yeah, I feel like this game particularly, like you're saying, Trundle and Olaf can be options. I think it had to be Kai'Sa, but I feel Pyke is also a viable option. He's an assassin to a certain degree, so I think Pyke can also go into the Serpent Fangs, and I feel like Kai'Sa and Pyke going for, because you can adapt the Kai'Sa, you do sometimes build a collector before, so I feel like you can adapt that into just going the Serpent's Fang. You get the extra damage, and you can get the passive from the Serpent Fangs really well there. But I feel like if you do want it so much, Pyke would be ideal there.
I do actually completely agree with you on that one as well. So it is definitely going to be an interesting turn of events. Who do you think has the better team fight in the mid game?
Come mid game with 1 to 2 items, I feel like the side from Jason Mirage actually does a lot in the team fight. Like, because if Pyke does get his first item by the 3rd Drake, which as an assassin it gets just so much of a boost. You are so much of a threat for both the Varus and the Seraph, but also to the Tahm Kench, because I'm pretty sure the ultimate from the Tyke doesn't ignore the shield from the Tahm Kench if you're after a certain threshold, right? So it's not like it will matter if he gets that shield back. If it does, I would favor the side of OMT, because Tyke then doesn't have that much running cost.
It's definitely going to be interesting. On that note, though, we are going to go to a short break as we set up for the game, as we wait for the spectator delay to end here. So don't go away, guys. We will be right back. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Game 1 between G7 Mirage and Omega Titan Esports Aries. Introducing the top lane for G7 Mirage, we have Hecate Mask Off on the troll himself, Trundle. We have Best Turtle OCE, gonna be playing Olaf in the jungle. We have Steel City Warrior on Lulu mid lane. X-ray goggles on Kaisa, as we do see an
Oh
invader. Here
no,
is going to be
danger.
the flash away. No, he gets pulled back, and this is going to be absolutely detrimental for his existence, and he goes down. Worthless flash. If you're going to flash, you got to flash it early. Ooh, the axe is going to land onto Sleepyhead. Sleepyhead is going to be getting run down here. Double axe is going to land here, and Steel City Warrior going through. Here comes the slow back, and they're going to trading back and forth here. Pike is going to flash forward.
Oh, bye-bye.
And it's going to be Hecate Mask Off with a kill on a Sleepyhead, and already 2-0 before 2 minutes.
Well, I don't want to say it's over, but it's close. It's close. We're getting there. We can finish introductions now.
I think so too. Steel City Warrior is going to be playing Lulu mid lane, X-ray goggles on that Kaisa 80 carry, and he's going to be supported by Havoc BTW. Is that a name change or is that a different support?
He changed names because he is a Steel City Warrior, but he
So
changed names.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm, to be perfectly honest, kind of glad he changed his name.
Yeah,
Because that it was a little tough sometimes.
yeah, better. That way we can have more differentiation between players. I like that better.
I appreciate you, Havoc. I appreciate you. But now we're going to represent OMT. We have Danger in the top lane on that Tom Kench, who I am super excited to see. I love watching Tom Kenches. I hate them in my game, but I love watching them. We have a Sleepyhead in the jungle on Xin Zhao. We have Flyer 666 on the mid lane. Excuse me, not Xin Zhao. On the mid lane, Xerath. We have Circlet going to be playing 80 carry Varus, and they're going to be supported by Imberkai on Nautilus. And yeah, already a lot of action and already a 1,200 gold lead at 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, what a way to start the game. I think that's G7's Mirage's way to start the game. Really well done, executed invade there with the Pike and a really nice hook. Oh, hey, Brock.
Pike gonna miss the pullback, but X-ray goggles and Havoc gonna be getting countered here a little bit.
Nice. Nice steps there. Yeah,
Steel City Warrior. Oh, good polymorph.
they're doing a lot of damage and ignoring him. Oh.
He missed the stun somehow. I thought for sure that phased through his body. He is
Also,
very low.
Yeah, and it's really important to know this one thing, looking at all the trading in mid lane. Xerath has Ghost, Lulu has Teleport. So putting so much damage on the Xerath and you having the Teleport advantage, then you can just TP back and just put the Xerath so far behind.
Supports having supportal combat to the side, but Imberkai going to give up first as the Ghost does come through. Havoc going to be looking for the pullback, is not going to get it as a flash over from Imberkai. Good job there. Ghost was used though, and great flash there actually.
Yeah, waited until the last second to see where the direction was and just flashing the other way. Really well done surviving that, but just because the amount of pressure that they are able to put on the bot lane because of that first blood on the Kaisa is so good. Like, she was able to back, get her longsword, and be able to keep on pressuring the Varus. Even though she's pushed now, she's so far ahead in terms of CS.
And experience, just everything
Yeah.
right now, just so far ahead. Sleepyhead is going to get hit by the Axe Flyer, not going to hit the slow. The double axe that's going to land on Sleepyhead. Stun goes through, but here comes the knockup though. Will it be enough? Lulu is going to be here to back it up, and they're going mid-sleep. Good job there. Great flash there to dodge it.
That was so good.
It's going to be, oh, that was a great flash, man. Being able to dodge the Xin Zhao wind becomes lightning. I hate that name, man. It's such an awkward thing to say. But being able to dodge that W from Xin Zhao is so important for that trade to go in their favor.
Yeah, if you get hit by that, you get a slowed, and then it's much more easy for both the Xin Zhao and the Xerath to be able to finish you. But yeah, really nice play by Best Turtle OC. He just goes, oh, Xerath?
Flyer 666 gonna get taken.
This is low again.
To the back to Stoat. Well, the stun actually going on Steel City Warrior. And
oh no,
gonna pick up the axe. Not gonna get it. And Flyer 666 going to survive.
Yeah, the problem is that here it benefits much more the Lulu because the teleport difference. The Xerath will lose some CS, the Lulu no.
Here comes the plane. Oh, great job there from Havoc. Great job from Havoc. The dashboard is going to be able to slow out onto X-ray goggles, but the knockup is going to come through. Heal comes out, and here comes the teleport from, wait, Olaf?
It's Trundle.
Oh, it's Trundle. I was like, wait a second. I saw him recalling on the minimap, but here comes a counter teleport from Tom Catch. Is not going to, barely not going to get the knockup from it. Danger going to get an icicle up the tail fin there, so to speak, and he's going to be able to walk his way out.
Yeah, that I feel like, depending on the lane state, I feel like it benefits the Tamkich a little bit more because it's not like the lane was going to crash into the Trundle, so Trundle will lose much more. Tamkich will be able to come back and he will get a huge wave into that. But on bot lane, they get a really nice pick on the Pyke, which, even though he was able to evade the hook from the Nautilus, ends up just dying, trying to protect the Kai'Sa. But really nice play, trying to get back into the game. And we're still not super far in terms of the difference. It's not a 1,000 gold difference yet, so it's not like it's going to be that bad. Like,
good cancellation on the hook, but it's just not going to quite matter.
It feels like it's style points just by doing that mainly.
Sheen, it was picked up for Hecate Mask Off, so this is where Trundle starts to get a little bit of his power going. With that trade potential. Level 6 for Danger, though, and he immediately goes for Hecate Mask Off. So much damage. Here comes the pillar, though, and here comes the stacks have not fallen off yet. That is just going to be a free escape for the Catfish, man. And it is such a solid... You have such a safe lane now on Tom Kench.
Yeah.
With that ability change. It is just disgusting.
Yeah, there's, I think, just one way to cancel it with GCC, and I'm not 100 even. Oh,
he's gonna eat him. He's gonna bring him right under tower. He's gonna execute him under tower. Here comes the ultimate to stop it, and here's the flash away. And honestly, he probably didn't need to flash that far. Probably could have turned it on to Danger, but chose to back it out.
I thought originally that when Trundle was just a little bit far away from the level 6, they would just wait and then go with the Lulu and dive, and they can pretty much pull it off. But now without the Trundle ultimate, although Bite is down as well, so maybe they can actually pull off dive. If you see the minimap, Lulu and Olaf are coming top.
I do like this thing. They are going to be... Oh, good job there to dodge it from Hecate Mask Off, and here comes the bite for the slow. Here comes the pillar to... That's what I was waiting for. And there's the Lulu speed up and the slow. Lulu going to be able to pick up the kill, and that is exactly what I was hoping to see, using that displacement from the pillar on Trundle to stop the Catfish from escaping.
Yeah, that's the best way to utilize the pillar against the Tam Kench that you're saying. And that is something that I wanted to see previously with the ultimate of the Trundle, to try and just dive the Tam Kench. You can pull it up with the Lulu especially also, but they ended up executing really well. The Lulu takes the kill. It's not the ideal for me, at least. I think probably you want it on the Ola for the Trundle to keep on accelerating the game, but it's still a really nice pick. And they also secure... Oh wait, they didn't go for the Herald. I thought they were going to get the Herald so that they can just keep on accelerating the Trundle.
The hook actually lands on to Kai'Sa.
Nice
Kai'Sa gonna be able to flash away. Great job to get him under the tower here. Here comes the stun. Will it go through? And the flash forward circlet's actually gonna be able to pick up the kill. Or sorry, Nautilus actually got it with Ignite. Kai'Sa not gonna have heal there, and not level 6, so didn't have access to that killer instinct.
Yeah, and you gotta think about how is the Kai'Sa still a little bit behind in comparison to the Varus that did hit level 6. It's a little bit surprising, especially because Xin Zhao was also on bot lane, so they should have lost XP in that, but they are still ahead of the Kai'Sa.
Speaking about experience, actually, the fact that Lulu got the kill is totally fine, just because Danger lost so much experience off that massive wave crashing. So obviously it's better to give the kill and that gold away to somebody else, but at the same time, it's like, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah. It's the ideal, but as long as you get the kill and you can just deny your enemy, it's always good.
Absolutely. And not only that, but Xerath really didn't even punish Lulu for roaming like that, just because of how Best Turtle OCE was able to gank.
Yeah, that's a good thing with Lulu, also apart from the trying to just go with the Olaf and all that. It's the fact that you can just set yourself really well with the ability to push the lane without being that much punished. Like, Lulu has the one of the lowest mana costs in terms of mid lane champion, so you can just constantly harass and push the wave, and it's not like you're going to lose that much.
Absolutely. Also, now that last chapter is finished for Flyer 666, it just makes it so much easier to push out that wave. Yep. It's just so much easier. Backline minions will die pretty much instantly to a Q there, and Here comes Havoc, gonna look for the
Oh,
flash, and that's
Pike.
gonna be very questionable. That's very questionable. Sleepyhead is gonna get
Yep.
on to Havoc, and Havoc goes down. They're playing without vision, and great setup from OMT to come in through a lane gank like that, and so aggressive by Havoc. What was he doing?
Yeah, I'm really surprised with Havoc. Like, I can understand the bloodthirsty idea that you're playing Pike and you do want to go in, but I even think that they were clearing one of the wards that was on one of the on the push, much more push. So I think like you should have expected the Xin Zhao to be in that vicinity, especially having all that control on top side and not having seen him previously. You cannot play that aggressive. And on
Here
top
comes
lane,
the
Herald goes
Eye
down.
of Herald. Danger is going to be not going to get the knockup, but the Snipe is going to drop down. And here comes the Xerath artillery shots. That's not what you want to be at if you are Best Turtle OCE. You're going to get eaten alive here. And Best Turtle OCE very low, but here comes Sleepyhead. They spot him out. Tongue Lash not going to land on anyone, though, as an axe going to keep people at bay.
Can they? They're trying to set up for a death push, which I like. Oh,
Great pillar forcing the flash as Lulu came through the flank. Great job there by Heket Maskoff with that pillar. Does force out the flash, but meanwhile in the bot side, Havoc is getting absolutely shillelied by Circlet and Imberkai. Back in top side, Heket Maskoff is going to get the knockup. Will it be enough? Here comes the dashboard. Heket Maskoff is going to go down here. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we saw the Circlet going to go down. X-Ray Goggles finally goes down. And the unstoppable force, or not unstoppable force, the unstoppable coming out from, wrong ability. It's the Ragnarok, but he's unstoppable while he's using it. Ragnarok is going to be going through. Hook missing from Havoc as well, and this has been a very interesting couple of trades here across the map for G7 Mirage and OMT.
Yeah, and that top lane, it comes from a really nice pillar like we were talking about with the Trundle into a really nice punish by the side of Xin Zhao and Tam Kench. And I really like that they took advantage of that when the Lulu was going away. As soon as the Lulu goes away, they go for the play, and that is why it ends up going really well. Because if the Steel City Warrior is there with the shield for the Trundle and her ultimate, they win that so handily that there's no chance then for the Tam Kench and Xin Zhao to pull anything off. And then on the bot side, the Varus the Varus dies, and he also has a full mythic completed. So I'm surprised that they do lose that, but it's a really nice influx of gold and experience to the Kai'Sa that even though dies, gets the gold assistance from the Pike.
Absolutely. Also, Divine Thunder is finished for the Trundle as well.
There's 3 mythics on the side of G7. They should not lose this raid.
No, here comes the pillar. Great job. Knockup is going to hit onto X-Ray Goggles. Shield comes through, though, as that's a lot of damage. Heket Maskoff going to have to walk away. Dominance is not, or Ultimate is not available just yet. Sleepyhead is going to get the knockup, but he's going to be able to heal for so much because passive. X-Ray Goggles almost going down, but Danger is going to be very low as in the backside. He's going to be able to do anything. Here comes Sarah's off the backside, going to be able to pick up the kill. And they're going to be trying to run away. Heket Maskoff is going to take a piercing arrow from the back, and Unstoppable coming through. The Ragnarok not going to matter. You actually lose armor and magic resist by that, but the ghost coming out from Flyer, is he going to be able to dodge it? No, he won't. The stun is going to come through. Xerath doing very, very well. Will it be enough, though? Great flash, but it doesn't matter. Flashing right into the piercing arrow, and that is going to be all she wrote. A 4 for what? Like 1 or 2 in the extended trade?
Yeah, Xin Zhao and Nautilus side.
That flash predict from Circlet was so good because it was such a great flash from X-Ray Goggles into the immediate death. Havoc going after Circlet is going to be able to pull him right under power. Great job from Havoc, and he's one last auto attack. Oh my gosh, he gets the trade back. Lulu going to be able to predict it though, and going to be able to kill off Circlet as well using the Glitter Lance.
If you get the kill there as a shutdown, is that much more worth, right? I feel like it is. Like if the Lulu kills there, the Varus, if you get the shutdown there, I feel like it's much more worth for your side if you do get the shutdown. I feel like.
I mean, yes and no. You're still going over 300 gold to your opponent, and you're not getting more than 300 gold off that shutdown. So, for example, like the minimum shutdown is going to be 150. So the max, like, and each increment is only, I believe, by 150. So even if you do get a shutdown, you're still only going to be, you're giving 300 gold, and your return is only going to be 150 more than it was before.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I thought maybe you could actually pull it off as a as a beta strategy to get much more gold, but yeah, the increment is not that much.
There was a strategy to do that. I have seen it like a couple times in solo queue. This was for like a patch or two that it worked.
It must
And that
have
was
been
because
at the
you
start of the
it was like a year and a
bounties.
half or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So what happened is once upon a time your like kill gold was capped at 25 gold. So these two players would turbo run it down, and then they'd only be worth 25 gold after I don't remember how many kills it was. And then their allies would kill.
Oh.
Oh, Steel City Warrior's gonna have to ult themselves? No, barely surviving. Balls of Steel, actually. Wow.
And we're seeing the Seraph.
And here, wow, that actually hit both of them in the flash forward, and
Nice.
that's gonna be Circlet gonna be able to pick up.
They can get this kill as well.
Havoc, one last tower shot. Hecate Maskoff is going to be tanking here. Imberkai going to go down as well. Hecate Maskoff going to get a nice kill, but nobody cares. Sleepyhead, one last grass proc from him comes through, and he's actually going to be able to survive with the Gore Drinker. Unstoppable with that Ragnarok, going to be doing so much for him. And Grey Health still available. Zerath waiting over in the wings here, trying to zone him through. Knockup is going to not land as X-Ray Goggles going in to play 666 between a rock and a hard place. Flyer is going to have to flash away, but it doesn't matter here. Kaisen picks him up, and X-Ray Goggles is going to be taking a lot of damage. Going to be inside danger, going to be able to heal immediately and goes straight towards the Lulu. And as horrible as that looked, that was the right call because Steel City Warrior was on the other side, so he wasn't kiting away, and it looked so close, and it looked not great. However, Steel City Warrior was able to get in range in time.
Yeah, that was the most ideal outcome for the Kaisa and the Olaf, that Lulu just arrives there to be able to clean out, to help with the cleanup. And I think, to me, it was Flyer that misexecutes there, because even though he comes in from behind, he misses the stun. So his value just drops there so much, and then the Kaisa and the Olaf can answer, even without the Ragnarok up.
Well, not only that, but he walked into a place where they split your opponent, but both sides are threatening. Yeah. And you can't, like, you are a champion that needs everyone in front of you. You cannot be getting flanked as Zerath. That's like one of his biggest weaknesses. It's being flanked. Like, and Danger can't protect you from both sides. He can only protect one side at a time. He can protect you from multiple champions, but
he had already committed fight.
Yeah, and it's already it's the directional issue there. So unfortunate positioning mistake from Flyer cost him his life and cost his team the rest of that fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a nice punish by the side of Jisoo and Mirage that we were talking previously, and a little bit of a misexecution in terms of positioning and the idea that OMT wanted to do, but I think it's still not completely bad. They are positioning themselves correctly with this. They have double poke damage, and we were talking about this. The Zerath value now is so huge. If he survives, he can win these fights.
Absolutely.
He's doing so much damage. Oh, Trundle.
Here comes the engage. Trundle's off to the side, and here comes a great, and here comes a great. The Circlet is going to go down. Zerath Flyer 666 also going to go. Sleepyhead is going to be the next target here, as he is the one with the damage. Sleepyhead, execute onto Nautilus, and Sleepyhead going to be able to not give the reset over, but it is going to be water. Okay. He's going to be trying to... He got the tongue lash! Danger, you mad lad! Gonna be able to trade away. He's actually still alive. He eats the Olaf, he spits him out, and it just... You mad lad, Danger, hitting the tongue lash over the wall to finish off X-Ray Goggles.
I was just gonna say, X-Ray Goggles, he wanted to try and tank the turret to go for the Tam Kench, and when he knows that he's dead, he just dies there so fondly. But that right there, that team fight by Jisoo and Mirage, I think that was so well executed by them. They saw the moment that
choke point.
Yeah, they saw the moment that they saw the Zerath and the Varus. It was so well how everyone just decided to run in, and I think crucially is the fact that Hecate Maskoff was unchecked on the flag. So even though the Xin Zhao Sleepyhead tried to answer to him, as soon as the attention is diverted into the two sides, kind of what happened with the Zerath on that choke point on top side, as soon as that happens, then it's much more easy for the side of Jisoo and Mirage to commit and then just win the fight out of that. And they explode Zerath and Varus so easily.
Absolutely. That being said, they were able to grab the Rift Herald before it despawned, so they actually might. So I don't see this very often, but I love it when this play happens. When you do the Baron push with the Rift Herald, obviously would require a good team fight coming out of G7 Mirage, but I also think they have a big enough lead where they could pull that off, and I would love to see it.
I don't even think they need to win a fight to go for the Baron, because they have 3 great champions for Baron securing.
Oh no,
Trundle.
I'm not worried about the securing it. I'm more
Oh,
worried at Circlet and Flyer 666 poking over the wall and
okay,
chunking
yeah.
them down for their entire HP. That's more of what I'm
Oh,
concerned about more
Flyer.
than anything. But here
No
comes the
flash.
haunt or the pillar, the stun gonna come through, and the ultimate coming out. Flyer 666 gonna be flashed away or getting flashed out by Heka Maskov. He's going after Flyer 666, but here comes danger. Steel City Warrior is gonna be in trouble now. Heka Maskov should escape, but Steel City Warrior should not. They have nobody else there, and that's a very questionable decision there. Piercing arrow from the side on Heka Maskov, but that's going to be Xerath picking
No
up the
flash.
kill, going to be able to
Yeah,
bite, and
he's
that's
dead.
going to be 2 kills going over for free. They are going for the Baron, which is great. They have Olaf, they have the Pike, they have the Kaisa, but at the same time, like, what does that cost you? You lose your bot side tower, you lose so much pressure here, and that's great, you get Baron, but you just gave over so many resources to OMT.
What I really don't like about that play is that the fact that they committed way too hard on Flyer, because Flyer flashed before they after the teleport was already coming. Oh wait, circlet.
Actual Execute is not gonna Execute's gonna be flashed away from, but here the unstoppable Circlet is going to survive for now. Will he
But he's
fall?
dead
Though he
here.
should, because Havoc is there
Yeah.
to pick it up. Best turtle
And
OC
Lulu's
is gonna
alive.
survive forever. Lulu gonna be able to shield him and gonna be able to heal him up nicely. Heket Mask off, and here comes Danger trying to escape. Will it be enough? Here comes the Grey Health, gonna be able to pop himself away. And Heket Mask off, gonna be able to pull him back, and Olaf picking up that kill. Iberkai gonna hook into Heket Mask off, and Heket Mask off hits for the bite. Extra Goggles, meanwhile, is gonna be pushing down this middle inhibitor tower.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, is Kaisa just alone pushing the mid lane because that's what Kaisa does. She doesn't want to fight, she just wants to get objectives. But yeah, really nice play by Bestoro or OC. He commits really hard for the play, but he has the Ragnarok, he has the damage. He's just able to even threaten Circlet so hard that even though danger devours him, it's just an easy clean out after that. And also Havoc just committing for Flyer. That's one of the advantages of having the Pike being the assassin and the support as well, is that even though you are not one of the main carries, you will be able to threaten one of those champions because you are an assassin at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Also, Heket Mask off in the meantime was taking that bottom outer tower.
Just a couple of bites and it's dead.
Oh, the hook
Oh,
from Sleepyhead! No, he still
No.
dies! That was so good from Sleepyhead to keep himself alive. Nice 4-man ultimate, but a great pillar from Heket
the
Mask
value.
denies him of existence.
Yeah, the value of that pillar is so huge. It has gotten so many crucial picks, I feel like, and kills in the fights. Oh, Flyer. Oh, what a
Flyer. Great job from Havoc, and that is going to be Danger going down as well. Great job there from Flyer, or from Havoc, excuse
Havoc,
me.
yeah.
With using the ultimate to gap close, so many people don't realize that it also has utility, but here's the ultimate coming out from Circlet. Shelly is still alive, gonna be able to charge this inhibitor and take it down, and that is gonna be Shelly falling, but here comes the knockup, is gonna land onto Olaf, but immediately Kaisa takes him down here. Iberkai and Sleepyhead trying to make it back to bound. Iberkai is gonna fall here. Sleepyhead hits a little bit, but he is just taking so much damage, and this looks like it might be game at 24 minutes. Iberkai already leading the game. And this is going to be the game. The Nexus towers have fallen, and so will the Nexus. They're trying to pad KDA, but wait a minute, maybe not. Here comes the re-engage.
Nah.
No, the maybe not be able to pad KDA.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking maybe there's no chance they can survive this. Yeah, it's just a G7 Mirage team. I feel like they play this game how they have to, and it's from a start to finish a really nice setup on the level 1 to get early advantages. They had some really questionable picks, to say the least, during the game, and I feel like that's something that we have seen G7 Mirage do during the regular season. But as soon as they turn the bottom on, it's just instantaneous good gameplay. So they just can execute really well as soon as they want to execute. And this is a really nice game to see in terms of what they do really good and what they do really bad, and how you can differentiate each side of G7 Mirage.
Absolutely. And man, that Olaf damage was insane.
Yeah, he just had so much control of the map at the start. Like the
He
fact
had
that the
so
Lulu
much
had so
pressure.
much pressure. Yeah, the Lulu with the pressure helped him so much, and the bot lane with the early advantage allowed for him to also be aggressive. So I feel like It does have to come through the fact that they had a nearly 2 kill lead because of the invade, but they played so well around best.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we don't expect anything less from the MVP of the league. Hekamaskov playing super well in the top lane as well on that Trundle. Those pillars had
Yeah,
massive turnarounds in those fights. Just there was I think 3 fights specifically that just pillar placement won them the fight, which is just disgusting.
yeah.
But said, we will have to see how OMT is going to adapt for game number 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back. Welcome back, guys, to game number 2 here between OMT and G7 Mirage. We are already underway into pick ban. Gragas and Swain already banned away. But the question here is, will OMT be able to bounce back after the thrashing that they experienced last game? Or will they crumble to the pressure from G7 Mirage? Trundle is going to be banned away, and rightfully so by OMT. They do not want to deal with Hecate Mask off again, and the BS that he was able to pull with those pillars. Fiora going to be banned away in retaliation, and TDS is going to be once again joining me on the desk. TDS, what do you think so far?
Yeah, I like the Trundle ban, and it's not only the fact that Hecate Maskov did play it really well, but also the fact that it can be just such a good flex, and I expect that Best Sword OC can also play to a certain degree, so just taking it away but against G7 Rush seems to make a lot of sense. And they take away also the Kai'Sa. I don't think Kai'Sa was particularly that strong that game, but I feel like maybe just comfort against X-ray goggles probably takes a lot of part in that. And Shen, which was banned in the first game, I feel like is now open up, and OMT just goes instantaneously for the champion.
Oh, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised. With the Trundle ban, I kind of would have assumed that they were going to go the TK route again, but I mean, I guess this could technically be a Shen support, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, there's still chance, but I think it's just more ideal in the top lane, and you have much more value out of Stand United being able to pull it off from the top lane.
Absolutely. Lulu already going to be... Is it going to be picked up? It is going to be locked in by G7 Mirage. That still could be a flex pick, but I mean, we saw Steel City Warrior playing it phenomenally in the top lane. Also, Gangplank going to be playing into the Shen. Interesting kind of a matchup. It slightly leans in favor of Gangplank, but if you get any amount of lead on the Shen, GP can really struggle with that matchup.
Yeah, and the ideal of both of those champions is kind of you have the globals and you can put pressure, but GP does scale a little bit better than the Shen. But like you're saying, it's to a certain degree volatile because the Gangplank does need to be able to spike at certain points. So for example, the first spike of the Gangplank, which is the Shin, it's important to hit with him, and you do want to get that with the first teleport. So if you do trade badly or play badly at the start of the game, you can just miss your opportunities, your windows to be really oppressive in that matchup, and ended up just giving away advantages to the Shen that then he can apply with the Stand United. So you have to be careful how you do play that matchup, but I like the Gangplank pick, and I like that they are going for that with the Lulu and still not revealing that many things that can just go away. It's Xin Zhao now against the Lydia and Aphelios. I like the Aphelios AD carry here, and Lydia, it's a champion that we haven't seen in a while, but I feel like she did receive some buffs, and in the jungle she is good, but I feel like now solo lane Lydia has been taking much more of a presence than just in the jungle.
Right, which, I mean, they still have that Shen, so that... there's no way they run that support, right? Or
even jungle. There's that possibility, but... I just don't feel like Shen would be that value. The thing is, the side of G7 Mirage doesn't still think that the Lydia will be in the jungle because they banned the Olaf out. So they expect that the Lydia could still be flexed, and same with the Shen pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. This draft is it definitely could be interesting. We could take it at face value, but at the same time, like, there is a lot of possibilities still for this draft to be interesting. Kog'Maw, Samira banned away for OMT, and Olaf and Thresh going to be banned away for G7 Mirage. So very, very interesting how this is going to turn out, and I just don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Just waiting. I think I was going to say this pick will decide a lot of things. This particular pick I will do. So now with the 6 bot lane, I don't think it's going to be a Lulu support, because I think you have to have some kind of good protection for the 6, and Lulu 6 are way too squishy for that particular bot lane. But you can pull it off. It's just I don't think it's ideal.
It still could be a Ziggs mid, which is like
even that.
There's so much that can be flexed here. So it is okay. So it is going to be the Shen top, but is this the jungle Lilia, or is this the Lilia mid?
Or is that the Rakan mid lane that I've been hearing about?
I have been hearing about Rakan mid full AP for a long time, and every single time it can be pretty strong.
So
if it gets ahead.
Jarvan? Uh,
I still don't know where they're going.
Yeah,
This could be a Jarvan mid.
this is so hard to predict. I'm not even sure. Like you're saying, it's just so hard to predict. Apart from the Rakan, I think that Rakan and Aphelios are the only things that I know of. The rest can go anywhere.
I'm excited. I would love to see a Jarvan mid lane, and that if that is the Ziggs mid, then just absolutely punish him.
Yeah. If it's mid lane 6, the Jarvan can just destroy him so awfully. Galio.
Well,
So,
you just don't let us have fun, TDS. You just don't let us have fun.
so it has to be. Theorizing, it has to be Lulu mid, 6, and Galio bot lane, right?
Oh, I was gonna assume it was gonna be Ziggs Lulu bot lane with Galio mid.
Okay, that is also an alternative. Even GP mid can be potentially pulled off and you just send the Lulu top lane.
Oh, it could be. Or wait a second, it also could be a Galio top lane into the Shen. Does do fairly well into that matchup, especially if you go Proto Belt early. Shen really can't block any of that damage. This game, man, is just wild. There's so many different options that they can do.
Yeah, that Galio top 1 is one that is so old. I feel like that was a strategy so when he could build tank, but you can still pull it off against certain matchups, the Shen being one of them. So yeah, possibilities are fully open. The chances are just whatever they feel like they can play to the better degree. I do want to see the Lydia soul lane. In the mid lane, it's not a champion that I typically see, but I do think she's strong in soul lane. So I do want that to go into the soul lane.
I think she is pretty solid in the solo lanes as well, but I just love seeing lane Jarvan, which surprisingly has a lot more agency in certain matchups than people would expect. So
okay,
I'm
this Shen top. Okay, one pick down.
I felt like we were pretty solid about. That one was the Shen. The Shen was gonna go top. It's gonna be the GP top, Xin Zhao jungle. Okay, we kind of figured that's what it was gonna be. We thought it might be Galio top, but just because the matchup could work that way, but
we wanted to have fun with the picks, but
we wanted to have fun, but we're not allowed. It's fine.
Yeah, Sleepyhead going for the Jarvan jungle. Like, I think there was so much merit for the Jarvan mid lane here, like you're saying. Like against certain matchups, I think even against the Lulu, you can pressure her to a certain degree, or threaten her to a certain degree. And I do want to see what Lydia does, right?
I was gonna say if we just got bamboozled and it's like a Kaisen mid or something like that with Lilia 80 carry, I was gonna lose my mind.
That can happen. It's just well, who knows? I think G7 and Mirage would be the team to do that. Honestly,
just don't give me hope. But yeah, this is gonna be a really interesting, very interesting matchup.
I think if Lilia does get pressure over the Lulu, Jarvan can begin having so much impact, because I feel like 2v2 wise, you would think that Lulu and Xin Zhao are super strong, kind of the same like the Olaf Lulu combo, but if you're not against the Olaf, then Xin Zhao just gets a lot of empowerment from the Lulu. But if Lilia does get pressure and you're able to invade the Lilia and the Jarvan before Lulu can ever do anything, you kind of become really strong with those two champions. Like in small areas, their damage is nothing to scuffle at. And at level 6, they can put so much pressure on someone. You can get someone to sleep and set up the Jarvan to get just a full combo and even delete someone. So the 2v2 is nothing to laugh at, but I would still think Lulu and Xin Zhao should have pressure in that.
I think so too. I think you're absolutely right with that. Also, it is going to be the Ziggs Galio bot lane. We don't get to have fun, but it's fine. It should still be good. I'm really excited. This is probably the least volatile, safest bet.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's not many volatile spots in both teams. Like GP and Shen can be volatile to a certain degree, but even then, I don't think that it typically happens that it gets so volatile. Same with the 6 Galio bot lane against Aphelios, and you kind of just keep on trading until you're strong enough to fight 5v5s.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on with that as well. But guys, I just don't know, TDS. There's just so many little nuances in this game, and I mean, the Jarvan should be able to access the backline for G7 Mirage super easily. So that's very dangerous for the Ziggs, for the GP, for pretty much everybody. Being able to put people in cage like that is just always lethal.
Yeah, and
So
you have, as a Jarvan, they have really nice setup. So you have the Jarvan just being able to cage people up, and you have really good follow-up with the Rakan and the Lydia as well. So the setup for the 5v5s can be so good for OMT Ares, just because of if the Jarvan is able to pull off a really nice combo.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say, man. This game, I just want this game to start. So guys, don't go anywhere. We will be starting up this game in just about 2 minutes when the spectator delay finishes up. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to game number 2 between G7 Mirage and Omega Titan Esports Ares. As is tradition, we'll start on blue side. Omega Titan Esports Ares top laner Danger going to be playing Shen. Sleepyhead in the jungle on Jarvan. Flyer 666 on Lilia in the mid lane. Circlet on AD carry Aphelios. Imberkai going to be supporting him and rounding out the team comp on that Rakan. Now, representing G7 Mirage, we have Heka Maskop on the GP in the top lane. We have Best Turtle OCE on Xin Zhao in the jungle. Steel City Warrior on mid lane Lulu. X-Ray Goggles playing Ziggs on AD carry. And Havoc BTW gonna be playing Galio support. And TDS, I'm joined once again on the desk by TDS. TDS, which lane are you focusing on the most?
My admiration goes to Lydia. I want to see Lydia mid doing well because I want to play her, so I want to see how it does. But I think bot lane can also call the attention for because you do get the push with this. I expect to see the push being won by the 6, and with that you support the Xin Zhao to be able to do anything. And if not, it's going to be between Xin Zhao and Jarvan to see who affects more the map. I think those three would be the most ideal things to see from this early game.
I would agree with you. What do you think about this Lulu? Why don't you break this Lulu Lilia matchup down for me?
I'm not completely sure on how you now play the wait, bot lane. Nice little trade.
Interesting.
Nice little trade. Okay, so back into the mid lane. I'm not 100% sure how you do want to play with Lilia now as a mid laner, but Lulu pretty much you stay the same. You should play this as against almost any mage. The main difference would be if the Lilia is able to stack movement speed as much as she can, then wait. Remember Kai
is going to have to get the heal out as Havoc also has to get the heal. Almost going down. Ignite
Oh,
is going to catch him off for first blood, and Aphelios gets the kill.
Level 2 diff. As soon as they hit level 2, they go into threatening range against the Galio, and because Imberkai can just get in front of the Galio, the Justice Punch, Justice Dive, whatever it's called, they just gets blocked by the Rakan, and then the trading by the Aphelios gets much more impactful and viable. Mid lane, Jarvan is sitting up here.
Jarvan is looking for the gank. The slow not going to land us. We pan over to top side. Heka Mask off, going to get hit by a grass proc, but that's it. Lulu going to be able to walk away for free.
Yeah, and a lane that I thought wasn't going to be that volatile ends up going really haywire at the start with an early kill, and it goes into the Aphelios. The member that you want to get as much gold as possible gets the first blood. I think that can affect who does get the control of this bot lane wave. Nice trade.
Danger. Gonna be taking a little bit of damage. Oh, Best Turtle OCE looking for the recall stoppage, and very, very close to getting it too.
I think if he uses Wind becomes Fire, maybe they probably can pull it up, but yeah, Cheeky tried by Best Turtle OCE. If you stop the back would be really good, especially because there's no teleport.
It's Wind becomes Lightning? Get it right?
Becomes Lightning.
Taunt is going to land, but Heka Mask off, taking a little bit of damage. Is going to be completely out of mana, though.
He's still okay. Like as soon as he gets 700 gold, that's the idea point, and he can even back right now. Like he will stay in lane, but he can even back right now. Teleport back. He has a Shin.
He does. He actually already regenerated a lot of mana, and he still has a health pot actually too in topside. So
he must have what is it called? There's a rune that helps you regenerate more mana.
Oh, yeah, Time Warp Tonic with biscuits is probably what he's running. And actually, you know what? We have the handy dandy clickers. We can actually just check.
He doesn't even have that actually.
Actually, go through. He has boots and biscuit, so it's just the biscuit that he ate.
Yeah, he was able to regenerate a lot.
Yep. Between biscuits and corrupting potion, he healed for quite a bit, or got a lot of mana back, I should say.
I like how he has been playing this matchup correctly, trying to trade as effectively as possible with the Shen, and as soon as he backs, I feel as soon as he gets the Shin, he should be able to get much more power against this Shen here.
Here comes the double knockup going through. Shen is actually going to be teleporting.
Not get this? Yeah.
It's going to be the Phyllis going down. Imberkai going to be trying to get away, going to be flashing away, but unfortunately, Danger going in is going to be able to miss the
he missed.
Get the slow though, and here comes the knockup blocks. And Vestralosi is going to survive for now. Will it be enough though? Sleepyhead, and this is just an absolute mayhem. Danger is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Turtleosi, but now Sleepyhead, Danger is going to be having to run away. Second max off.
No.
Play, and now Havoc is going to be able to. No, Sleepyhead survives. The Dragon Strike, Flag and Drag, gonna keep himself safe.
Yeah, and X-Ray Goggles, I think, throws the Satchel Charge there to try and stop the Jarvan to be able to pull it off, but it doesn't get the cancel. The Jarvan is able to run away, but it's still a really great fight in the bot lane. Really well done by Vestorol C to survive for so long. Oh, Flyer.
Here comes the sleep coming through. Will this be the kill? Yes. He
missed.
Survive. Wait.
Oh no.
He lived.
Lydia mid is broken.
Absolute mad lad. Well done.
Wind becomes lightning, failed there. If that hits, Lydia's 100% dead, but really fancy food there to just evade the wind becomes lightning and survive for that. And I'm not sure how much that does actually change the dynamics of the lane, but it's a really nice solo kill to get, especially to try and keep the gold as close as possible, because that bot lane skirmish could have been so detrimental for the side of Foreign Heroes.
Is going to be actually getting traded onto pretty heavily, but Best Turtle OC can be able to take him with it, and here comes the knockup, and Shen goes down. No flash available. Danger gonna fall, and that was a big wave to lose if you're Danger. You do have to stand united, so you might just wait for Jarvan to walk top lane, gank it, and then use that stand united on top of him. And that's actually probably what they're gonna do here.
If Jarvan gets level 6, I think they can pull it off. Oh wait, actually, Xiao is not here. They can actually, yeah, like that could be totally viable. Yeah, they're doing that.
There it comes. I wish he would have stayed in base though, because then he would have had the move speed. But here comes the taunt, parlay, or excuse me, the remove scurvy is going to be utilized. One last auto attack, and that's going to be enough. Nope, the Dragon Strike taking him down, and that is going to be the kill. I mean, it would have been, I think, more knockup going to go through, but so does the taunt. Root actually falling as well. X-Ray is taking a lot of damage, but so is
a lot of damage.
He's gonna go down here. The heal, the shield coming through, and Circlet is trying to trade back as effectively as he can, but he takes so much damage. One last auto attack. No! But here comes the Chakrams. Here comes the Justice Punch. And is it gonna be enough? The knockup kill, and Imberkai. Oh, he got double kill for both bot lanes, but here comes a polymorph, and he's gonna be able to try to get away. Flyer 666 trying to survive, does get hit the slow here. Wind becomes lightning, lands, and that's a Flyer gonna go down to one last auto attack from Steel City Warrior, and all of the bot laners died hand in hand singing Kumbaya, all dying simultaneously.
Yeah, what a way to win that fight. Like, one last auto attack, it goes to the 6, and both of them trade themselves. I think 6 is the biggest winner because he does get the gold out of both kills.
Yes.
And he is behind in CS, so this is really important influx of gold. He also just reached level 6 Omega Inferno Bomb, beginning to be an actual factor in these fights. It's going to be really important. Well, what happened on top lane...
Taunted up here into the backside, and he is going to be in a rough place. Good job there with the CC chain, and Hekamask is going to go down. Great gank from Sleepyhead, and a fantastic job with that CC train.
Yeah, and I like that he's going to focus on the GP because GP doesn't have flash. GP is a volatile laner, and if he oversteps without the flash, even if he gets the orange down, he should die. Oh, bot lane Flyer.
Flyer is going to get taunted up here, and the Justice Punch goes through. Who will pick up the kill here? The double sleep there tried to be greedy for it, so they threw the ignite at the last second. They tried to be greedy and just give it over to one of their carries, but Havoc going to be credited with that kill.
I thought they were going to try and give it to X-Ray Goggles. They couldn't. They ended up just killing the Lydia, but like you're saying, as long as you get the kill, that's what matters. And with the 6, you can take this tower down, even without the Herald. So it's an overall really huge... 6. Couldn't get it, actually.
Oh, this is Daring. Oh, he missed the ultimate. It doesn't matter. The knockup is going to go through. Great flash throw from Imberkai to gap close that quickly, but here comes Circlet. Is going to have all of the damage blocked, though.
And important misexecution there by the side of G7 Mirage because they thought that they could have gotten the turret. They were really close with the Satchel charge, but they didn't get the enough damage down. And Six was tanking a little bit of the turret shots because he hit the Fiddle spray before actually taking down the turret. So that affected how much damage he took. They ended up killing the Six really well there and stopped the tower taking potential. I thought they were going to, the side of OMT was going to try and take top lane. The Jarvan just backs with the Herald, so they didn't go for that, but a mis-execution by G7, but I don't think it's going to affect that much. Trying to set I don't know if they are going to try to set themselves up for the next Drake, but with the amount of pressure that they are putting on bot lane, I feel like they can begin securing vision so that the Jarvan can just have an easy way to secure the dragon. Like that should be the most ideal thing for them.
So I disconnected there for a second there.
Oh.
My internet went out. I'm back. The game didn't actually stop the spectate, so I didn't even realize that I was no longer connected. But I'm still 11:22, 11:23, 24.
Yeah, we're same.
All right, perfect. So yeah, it doesn't look like I had any issues, but yeah, what'd I miss?
Nothing much. Just apart from the Six dying bot lane, they just took one plate and pretty much stable. Like they haven't tried to go for anything all Herald made.
Rift Herald coming through, and this might be probably not going to be the tower actually.
That's surprising. They didn't try and go for the bot lane. Yeah, for bot lane plates, since the Aphelios had just 3 plates on bottom lane, and they could have probably gotten more there. But they do go for the mid lane. It's now low. They can try and secure the turret. Flyer.
Flyer doing so much damage onto Steel City Warrior. Here comes the Jarvan, and here comes the sleep. The Flyer is going to be slowed here. Will it be enough? The ultimate going through. The knockup is going to land.
Oh, nice.
Going through. Massive turnaround, and Sleepyhead is going to be in trouble here. Sleepyhead is going to go down. Double kill coming out for Xin Zhao. Danger is going to be going forward onto Hecate Maskov. He is going to be a bit slowed. He is going to be able to block some of that damage, but accidentally hitting a minion here. He's got to be able to hit the barrels. So much damage coming through. Is it going to be enough? Passive.
Yeah.
And no, the gunshot, that parlay coming out clutch for Hecate Maskov.
Yeah, and we go for a really quiet moment in the game into a huge swing for the side of G7 Mirage 06. I think
here comes the root and the knockup for free X-ray goggles. Oh no!
Oh, actually,
attacks from Circlet just hit the.
He died.
He just misclicked 3 times on the tower.
Oh,
That's so
no.
tragic. Well, it's very tragic for OMT at least, and X-ray goggles is just happy.
No,
He is going. It does get knocked up on to by Sleepyhead, but Sleepyhead getting traded very effectively. Here comes the
Here comes Flyer.
It's going to go down. Circlet is now in a 1v2. Will it be enough? The Justice Potion, the flash for the shield. It's going to be enough. Yes, it will. Circlet is going to have the shield bow procced, and that's going to be a double kill coming down. Gangplank is now in the mix, and here comes Aphelios wanting to trade against the GP. I don't think that's what he wants, though, as here he comes forward with the, oh my gosh, the flash forward. Will it be enough? The auto attacks. And that's going to be Hecate Maskov. Hecate Maskov just is like, all right, fine. I'll just have to kill you.
Yeah, although with 2 parlays he took almost more than half his health. It was just there getting the last touches of the kill, but yeah, he gets another good, nice kill on himself. And I gotta say, Secret played that so well. Oh, Flyer.
Flyer is almost dead. Does get the knockup in. Oh my gosh, a great
debate
by Iron Berkai, and that's going to be the kill for Flyer 666. That's the second time that Iron Berkai has come in with these massive flash knockups using that grand entrance. But here comes over the wall here. Sleepyhead is going to be getting knocked up. Will it be enough? The wind becomes lightning. Does hit 3 members. But here comes the sleep on 2-2. A lot of damage coming out, and he's actually going to dive. He's going to be able to get the knockup. He's going to flash away, but he's so low. Jarvan sitting over the wall just waiting to go back in, but he doesn't actually have his abilities just back up just yet.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Best Tortoise going there was really ideal. He had to flow flash, and the Dragon is up, so maybe they can end up losing this. He's trying to get back up with the Frog. Oh, Sleepyhead.
They see Flyer, they see Sleepyhead, and they don't get a taunt on either of them. Sleepyhead going to get hit by the wind, becomes lightning slowed, but he is going to be able to stay safe as they pull the dragon.
Yeah, and in all of that fighting that was going on the mid lane, Six gets the top lane turret alone, and he's able to come back into the bottom lane as well without losing any pressure on the dragon. So it's a huge overall win for the side of GC and Mirage without losing anything, and they can now begin pressuring the mid lane turret with the Six.
What do you think that OMT needs to do to start coming back from this 4,000 gold deficit? And what do you think G7 Mirage, for the counter argument, need to do to continue keeping that lead and close this game out?
I hope that they keep pressuring turrets with the 6. I'm talking first, G7 Mirage. Keep pressuring turrets with the 6. The value of the 6 stage is so good. And even if you do not get the turrets, the constant poke damage from him will be valuable. So I think don't leave him alone. Just help him pushing mid lane and keep on putting pressure on turrets and objectives. Oh, X-Ray Goggles.
Grand Entrance is going to land, but X-Ray Goggles not going to go down. Here comes the Stand United, though. I don't think they necessarily... I think that was a little bit of a miscommunication there, unfortunately.
Yeah, little too forced. No actual needing into that. They end up using that so important cooldown. X-Ray Goggles. And I'm going to quickly talk on what OMT needs to do, and they need to slow the pace of the game as much as possible so that Aphelios gets one more item. With one more item, he can begin putting much more pressure in the fights, beginning dealing much more damage, and not being having to be so scared about being threatened. Oh, X-Ray Goggles is dead.
X-Ray Goggles might go down here. Ultimate is going to be... Oh. That could be very close.
Yeah, if that works the way that I thought it did, X-Ray Goggles is dead. Oh, GP. Ultimate.
Well, the ultimate from Flyer 666 has already been utilized here. The knockup is going to go through. Grand Entrance going to be his death. And just honestly, with the positioning there, only Rakan going down is probably their best, like, option.
Yeah.
Satchel going to execute that tower as Shelly has been summoned. When becomes Lightning Circlet, is going to be not actually taking a lot of damage. Here comes a great ultimate, and oh my gosh, the guy's going to be used to get out. Best OCE is going to be going on to Sleepyhead, not going to be able to get him though as he runs out of mana. And now Flyer 666 is going to be the target. Shelly, it's almost taking down the tower. Very close. Is it enough though? They just need a little bit of damage, and yes, it's going to be enough. X-Ray Goggles goes down, trades his life for it though, as Second Mask also falls. Double kill, triple kill coming out from Jarvan as a quadra kills for Jarvan, and will this be the pentakill?
Don't give it.
We see it. One attack Flyer, be the scumbag you are. Yes.
Good job.
The scumbag stealing away the pentakill.
Yeah, no, we don't give away pentas. Don't do it. Let them deserve it. But really nice fight by the side of OMT there to answer the constant push of the side of G7 Mirage. Yes, they got the inhibitor turret, but they had to overcommit for that. A couple of really important shutdowns going down, and maybe this is a turning point. Obviously, you would have loved the fact that Aphelios got one of those. Even just a little bit of gold would have been massive for the Aphelios, but it's still a really nice shutdowns going into the Jarvan for him to be much more tanky, much more durable, and then being able to begin fighting against the Six. That's one of the things that we did comment on. It's the fact that Jarvan, if he can set up his team on top of the Six, on top of the Lulu, then they can then win the team fights with a lot of their AoE damage that they do have. So that he is much more durable than this.
Absolutely. And man, this game has had everything, and I love it.
Yeah, pretty much fighting, a lot of interesting deaths, a lot of interesting traits. So I gotta say, it's been fun. I think the next Drake will have a lot of fighting as well, because if G7 does get that Drake, it's Soul Point, and having the Mountain Soul in this composition against an Aphelios that it's kind of the main damage threat, it would be so ideal for them, especially without having a super frontline tanky member like a Mundo, like a Sion. Having those extra resistances would be so crucial for them.
Absolutely. Also, they are going to be fighting over dragon control here. Does spawn in 45 seconds. Because Aphelios is not there, they cannot really fight for anything, and this looks like it might be a solo kill going on to Steel City Warrior. No, Flyer actually just ults and runs away. Best Turtle OCE looking for the Lilia. Does not hit him with the Becomes Lightning. Does hit him with the slow, though, as the Winds of War into the Double Charm comes through. The knockup lands, and here comes the taunt. Here comes the Stand United as well.
Stand United.
That's Imberkai looking to go out again, but it's just flashing back in. But it's there's a great job there from Best Turtle OCE to re-engage off the backside, the flash forward, and here comes the taunt. It's not going to be. It's going to be stopped short though. It does get knocked up. Winds Becomes Lightning and the jump, and the dash coming through, and only one member has died so far. Both sides being able to kite properly.
Yeah, and again, we see Best Turtle OCE being able to put the pressure on the Lilia. Lilia tries to go for the solo kill, ends up overcommitting and has to run away. And I think the side from G7 Mirage trying to pressure the kill there is really good. But we see miscommunication again from the Shen and Imberkai, because he goes for the Stand United. Oof, that was so much of damage.
And will it be enough?
He gets it!
Does land, and just as Punchy is going to hit him as well.
Done.
And that's going to be circling going down. That is massive for G7 Mirage. And that should be a very frantic OMT trying to run away.
That can even be that can even be Baron, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because that's just... They realistically took out their only threat.
Yeah, 20 seconds for the Aphelios. Yes, you don't have probably the best Baron taking teams, but you do have a lot of damage. And the Ziggs and the Galio control a lot of the area of the choke points that the side of OMT will try to go on. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to try and go into the Baron pit, but they are going to try and stop this.
They do still have a lot of AoE damage. If they can get a good 3-man knockup with the Jarvan, they do have a chance here. Here comes the speed up, and Steel City Warriors going to be taking a lot of damage. They are still on at the drive. To the grand entrance, and that is a great ultimate coming. Jin Zhao. Havoc is going through it. That's going to be a Recon falling as well. The flash forward from Hackett Maskov. Danger is in trouble. One last auto attack is going to be all she wrote. Flyer 666 walking right into the jaws of death.
Oh, he's stopping
immediately, so he does not get the Dragon Strike for safety. The shutdown kill going on to Ziggs there.
Yeah, and on such a long team fight, being able to control the choke points and the entrances from every place in the Baron, they are just able to chip down, do a lot of chip damage, and end up just killing so easily the Rakan. Rakan tries to go in and Rakai tries to get a really nice engage, but they cannot do that easily and ends up just dying. They are still here, Aphelios and Lilia trying to stop this as hard as they can. But I don't think they will be able to.
They can definitely do it. Here goes the knockup. Will it go through? Yes, it will. The Stand United is alive. And Flyer 666 is not going to fall as they go back onto the Baron. Just won't give it up. They don't want it to let it fall, and they finally take it. Rakan is still here, though. Hekamask off, re-engaging, is going to be able to hit the slow, is going to be able to speed up. Will it be enough? And Jin Zhao going to get that kill. And we have been seeing a 2.5-minute fight around Baron.
Yeah, in the span of the last 5 minutes, I think Imberkai has died 3 times alone. Just in those 5 minutes. So he has been trying to do a lot, but he has not been able to pull it off. And in an instance where it seemed like G7 Mirage would be so down in resources, because Ziggs, I think, had close to no mana. The other members were really low in health, so it was really close to actually just being a bad play for them, but they played that as well as they can. They secure the Baron, re-engage, and get a couple of kills again. So it's just really nice team play by the side of G7 Mirage, and understanding their limitations and what they can do with each of their champions.
I would definitely tend to agree with you on that. And man, after watching that, I don't know what OMT can really do to come back, because they had the Baron debuff on them for G7 Mirage that entire time. No, OMT was never fully in the fight like a straight honest 5v5. But at the same time, man, that was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that felt like their best chance to be able to just get something back up. After the quadra kill from the Jarvan, it just doesn't feel like OMT has any correct answers for the side of G7. I think the only thing that they can actually do is pray that the Aphelios becomes a huge menace. But that would take at least another 10 to 15 minutes.
I mean, unless she gets a couple of kills here, but I mean, she's got double items now. She has the PD finish, so that's a huge... Oh, and here comes
Rakan.
In the grand entrance. It's going to be going through a nice Galio ultimate in the return, though, and this might be the fight that we were looking for with this not Kai'Sa, excuse me, with his Aphelios, but that is going to be the Rakan falling as well. Danger is not be able to join.
Okay, nice.
A second Mascot trying to take out the tower. The taunt is going to miss though, and now Danger is in danger, and one last parlay going to be able to finish him off. It is going to be 2-4-1 in favor of G7 Mirage. Stand United not able to be used. Honestly, when he used that command, excuse me, Flyer is going to barely survive for now, but no goes down, and that's going to be the knock-up on to Sleepyhead. Circlet is back, though. Will it be enough? And he's gotten... he's got the root down. Will it be? Yes. Will is going to be able to get the kill, though, and he's going to have to flash away. But Best Turtle, OCE, and Havoc still waiting as Heckin Maskoff is just taking topside by himself, and that's going to be a triple inhibitor going down. Circlet not wanting it to go through, and knockup is going to be flashed away from, but here comes the root, here comes the chakrams coming out. Will it be enough? The double knockups, the triple knockups, and no, that's going to be the death going over to Best Turtle, OCE. And will they be able to finish off all three inhibitors? Yes, they will.
And the sad thing is that even though they kill the 6 so early on, it doesn't matter. Xin Zhao does a lot of trade damage, and on the top side, because the Shen does not go into that, it's still a 4v3 with a really strong Xin Zhao and a Lulu that will keep buffing him. So it's not like you can just realistically kill the Xin Zhao that easily, and then they keep on pushing and just get the remaining kills so well. They are now securing the mountain, so extra resistances, I don't think there's chance to stop this.
Gonna get taunted, gonna get knocked up, gonna get polymorphed, and that is gonna be a very, very dead Jarvan. GP gonna be able to pick up the kill.
Yep, and I think this is probably not the beginning of the end, the closing to the end of the game, because I think with the Mountain Soul now backing to get the remaining items that they need, they are just going to march down. They can even just march down mid lane and finish the game as soon as the next wave of super minions comes in.
Red buff going to be started here by Best Turtle OCE. Going to be taken for himself as Zig steals the blue buff.
Oh, he missed.
And man, so far, very convincing wins for... Or the first game was a very convincing win for G7 Mirage, but this game looking like it might... It's obviously not over yet, but...
Yeah.
The way this is looking, this should be game 2 going over to G7 Mirage. And man, they just look so strong.
Yeah, and playing close to really different styles, because I feel like, yes, Xin Zhao and Lulu were the same, but Six and Galio are really different to Kai'Sa Pipe.
Oh, absolutely. Here comes the flash for the taunt going to come out. The Drowsy on to 3 members. A good taunt though, and the
Six dead
coming through. This is going to be a lot of damage coming out. Steel City Warrior is going to be trying to get away. Is going to be able to slow and kite properly, but he finally goes down in Lilia's dying breath. But now the GA is going to pop. He's taking so much damage. The GA finally popping on that last tower shot. Gonna be able to survive for so long. Havoc taking so many shots, but Aphelios is still alive. And Root's coming out. It's gone. Oh no! Gosh!
Circlet! No!
No! Circlet! That's so sad! And that is going to be game number 2 going over to G7 Mirage.
Poor Circlet. He tried so hard and got so far, but at the end he flashes into the wall.
Anyways.
Yep. Committing game 2 once again, playing like we were saying, playing at close to a different style. Yes, Xin Zhao is similar to Olaf, and Lulu is Lulu. She played the same, but GP is different from the Trundle. He needs a little bit more time to actually begin impacting, but he won that. I feel like even with the ganks that the Jarvan and the Shen tried to set up, he still was in such a comfortable position, helping the map out, being really far ahead in CS, or really well in CS, keeping up close. And on bot lane, even though they died, they were always putting pressure on the turret and putting pressure on Circlet, on the Aphelios, and Emberkai on the Rakan. So it never felt like the grasp of the game fell away from their hands. It just constant. It just felt like constant control by G7 Mirage, and thing that kept on from the first game is the fact that when they want, they just turn on a switch and they begin winning the game so handily.
Yeah, they definitely turn on the afterburners as soon as they get any amount of lead, and it's just over by that point.
Yep, pretty much.
Is this 3 or 5? I don't remember.
BO5.
That's what I thought. All right, guys. Well, we are going to go to a short break here as we get ready for game number 3. With their backs to the wall, will OMT be able to fight back, or will they succumb to this absolute onslaught that G7 Mirage has just completely ran through everyone all season? Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are already we are already underway in pick ban for game number 3 between Omega Titan Esports Aries and G7 Mirage. Once again, joined on the desk by TDS. And already we have Diana, Shen, and Gragas banned away for OMT. For G7 Mirage, they're going to be opting to ban the Swain, the Lee Sin, and this Lulu away. Actually, oddly enough, they banned their Lulu. Do you think that they assumed OMT would try to take it away and they just did not want to play against it?
I think after 2 games, I think it's the correct choice, especially because if OMT is banning the Shen and the Diana, there must be something that they really, really want to take away. So I think just sticking away the Lulu, which I don't think it's super, like, for me, G7 doesn't need the Lulu, but I feel like OMT could beneficiate a lot with the Lulu to get more pressure in the mid lane and then be able to support the jungle better, which I think could facilitate the matchup against Best or OCE. And it's instead Morgana going for first pick by OMT, and the Viego. They could have opted for the Shin and went for the Viego. I like the adaptation, and they can still run the Shin even if they go for Viego.
They can still run the what?
The Xinjiao.
Oh, I thought you kept saying Shen. I was like, Shen's banned, bro.
Accent things.
Ah, you're good, man. But yeah, so it is.
They go for the
Kai'Sa. So what do you think of this Kai'Sa backup? It was because game 1 was a little bit of a pop-up matchup for X-ray goggles.
I think Kai'Sa fell a lot in terms of where she was really a couple of patches ago, but she in the right hands you can still play her, and I feel like a lot of AD carries favor her a lot because of how much agency she does have as an AD carry. You have repositioning tools, you have a lot of damage, and with the correct bottom lane partner, you can just burst people out pretty easily. OMG going for the time catch again, but Udyr, I haven't seen Udyr in a long time. I was one of the people that liked Udyr, even though a lot of people hate him after some time. I really love the burst lab, so I'm glad to see him back up, but I'm not sure how he does against Viego first of all, and against this particular composition with a Trundle again, that can just deny you so much with the pillar.
Well, not only that, but they picked the Tahm Kench and they left it open again for the Trundle.
Which did a lot on the first game. I also need to, before we forget, they subbed out Danger, so now it's Yoroshku going into the top lane, so maybe they do think that he can pilot the champions better against the Trundle, but we will need to wait and see if they can actually execute with that.
What their last ban? Oh, it's gonna be Thresh ban. I feel like they've been banning that away from OMT, but at the same time they have Morgana. Why? I mean, I guess it could be a Morgana mid, and they just aren't wanting to risk that.
There's the potential. I feel like maybe it's a comfort thing because they did ban the Thresh on all 3 games, so I can see that maybe they just really don't want to play against that particular champion. But like you're saying, I think Morgana pretty much says that it's going on the bottom lane. I don't think that you would go for Morgana mid lane, especially blindly right now. And I want to see G7 Mirage. Oh, they go for the Jarvan. No, not even thinking about it. They just go for the Jarvan. I think it's because they are playing against an Udyr that they do want to try and lock the Udyr up really easily. Same with the Tahm Kench.
Which does make sense. I also actually really like the Jarvan personally. And is this gonna be the Blitzcrank? They don't really have a lot of damage if it is.
They need a lot of damage on the AD carry position, like you're saying, and it means that it's a Morgana mid lane, so they do have the peak potential, the really strong peak potential on mid lane and support, but they need something to follow up that, like you're saying, something with high damage. So maybe Kalista is an option, and she can spike earlier, so they are trying to have much more power really early on in the game with that.
I guess, but I was gonna say it's gotta be a high DPS. So I mean, Anivia and Cassiopeia both work because they're just tanky, but like that's it. That's all they have going for them.
They have so little range. Like in reality, yes, Hook and Morgana Q are kind of long range, but apart from that, they're so low range that an Anivia here would do so much. They are opting for the Syndra. What will they opt for?
What are they?
Okay,
Interesting.
Rise.
Did they
I
just
think-
random until the end?
I think that's probably something that G7 would think of and could probably pull off, but I think they just feel much more comfortable with the Rise, and Rise does have a lot of potential to gain a lot of control of mid lane really early on. Not like Azir does that too, so I think Azir was the other option that I think they could have done for. But Cassiopeia and Anivia can take a little bit more to ramp up. So I think that's more so the idea, to try and have much more pressure so that they can keep on supporting Best Ordosi so that he has much more free reign. But with this, it's still to a certain degree the same. The side from ONT has so little range in comparison to the side of G7 Mirage that even if they don't hit someone with a hook or a bind by the Morgana, then I don't think there's a real expectancy to actually be able to secure a kill on someone.
Yeah, this is... Man, this is an interesting comp coming out from ONT. Which lane do you think is going to be the most volatile?
Well, with the Blitzcrank, I always think that bot lane, just because of if you are able to just hit one hook, you can change totally the dynamic of the bot lane, put much more pressure, and then your jungler can just have a party down there. But if not, then you're just having close to useless support that can do really much without his hook. So I really want to see the bottom lane, and this is something that I don't think I touched on, but with the Viego going to the jungle and the Trundle going top lane, it's a Jarvan support. So it's going to be interesting seeing that as well.
Are they doing that because there's no... that's... Wait, what? You said it was a jar... Oh, wait, why did you say it was...
Because it's Trundle top.
Yeah, I just realized that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
That
weird.
that changes things to a certain degree. I think Frontal is probably better against the Blitzcrank in terms of the support options that were there, but I think Jarvan does have merit as well. He does have escape too, and he also has the chance to proc the Kai'Sa passive much more easily than the Trundle, I feel like.
Yeah, I think... I don't know what to think anymore, man. I give up trying to predict G7 Mirage.
Yeah, I think we just need to label it as G7 draft. Let's leave it at that.
That's all you can say, man. It's just... The thing is we can't even like critique it, because every single time they do something weird or off meta, they still win.
They win. Yep.
And so it's just like, is there anything this team can't do?
That's why we urge teams to please punish G7 and win against them so that we can actually critique them. that's our best bet right now. But no, really,
Well,
I feel like G7 is just that good that they can pull these things off, and also I think that even wacky things have their merit, and I like that G7 are trying to pull wacky things, because not a lot of teams do. So even though they are really good, they are still trying to get a couple of edges, even though they seem weird sometimes. Sometimes they're really stupid, but sometimes they do get some really nice edges, like the Trundle against the Kench.
Yeah, definitely. And man, Trundle versus Tom Kench, we've already seen that matchup once. Udyr versus Viego. I feel like Viego wins that as soon as he gets items. Morgana versus Ryze. I feel like Ryze just out pushes Morgana once you have lost chapter. Samira and Blitzcrank versus Kai'Sa Jarvan. I don't know. I mean, sure, Blitzcrank did get buffed a little bit, more damage on his Q, but it's like you have to hit the Q. Like you have to hit the hook. So
I think that's the caveat in every Blitzcrank lane. If you hit the hook, you pretty much win. If you don't, you pretty much lose.
I guess this game just falls on Imber Kai's lap. So, well, guys, we're gonna go to... What's up?
Just as a last point, I do want to say something as a last point, that Imber Kai does have a lot of things here, but one of the things that I'm really worried about is the fact that Samira, went for Samira, and I don't think that Samira is the bursty kind of champion that can destroy someone if they get hooked. So I'm worried that they will, even if they hook someone or bind someone, they won't have enough damage to finish that target off. That's my last point there.
It is definitely possible. But guys, we're going to go to a short break as we load in for this next game. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to game number 3 here between G7 Mirage and Omega Titan Esports. So far, it's been the G7M show here, as it's 2-0, and both were very, very convincing. They don't see anybody just yet. They're gonna be spotted out on this ward.
And it's doomed for level 1, I think. Wait. G7 is...
They would have just kept going.
Look at G7.
I like what they're doing here. They might be trying to catch somebody out in rotation, and they do. Flyer 666 is gonna go flashing over the wall here.
Oh.
I am surprised nobody flashed to follow.
And it's just so... Yeah, I thought someone was going to go, but you don't need to overcommit there. You will have the advantages anyway. So it's really nicely done by G7. They prepared the ward that you mentioned previously because Diego was backing to get the lanes back that almost every jungler does go, I think. And because of that, they know where they are. They set themselves up to respond to that at level 1, and they get a flash out of it. Really nicely done by G7 Mirage.
Absolutely. But hey, let's introduce the teams, right?
Yep.
For OMT in the top lane, we have Yurashiku on that TK. Speaking of TK, gonna immediately go into Heka Mask off, and for 2 little auto attack, or an auto attack and a tongue lash. We have Sleepyhead gonna be in jungle. Jungle Udyr, Flyer 666, mid lane Morgana, 80 carry Circlet on that Samira, Imber Kai. A little bit of a trade action back and forth. Will it be enough? The tongue lash and the stun is going to go through Circlet. Oh,
Nice hook.
She gets knocked up, or sorry, not knocked up, pulled out as Circlet gets immediately engaged on by Havoc and X-Ray. But yeah, Imber Kai going to be supporting out on that Blitzcrank that we just saw get that hook. Heket Maskoff going to be representing G7 Mirage in the top lane on Trundle. Best Turtle OCE going to be jungling as the knockup actually goes through it. Heket Maskoff is taking a lot of trades from Yurashiku. Good dodge on the tongue lash there by Heket Maskoff. But yeah, anyways, Steel City Warrior going to be in mid lane on that Rise. X-Ray Goggles on 80 carry, and Havoc going to support on this Jarvan.
AP Jarvan.
AP Jarvan, specifically Emax with Airy, yes.
Yeah, and as we were seeing, it does a lot of poke damage. You can trade really well.
Its base damage is actually really nuts.
Yeah.
I believe it's 280 when it's maxed out for base. And it has like an 80% scaling.
It does have a... its scaling is really huge. It is 30%... Wait, no. That was attack speed.
30.
It's... No, the attack speed is 30, the passive attack speed is 30, the damage is 240. Oh, nice hook.
Yeah, Havoc is going to be able to flag and drag away, going to keep himself safe. Is going to be ignited, but yeah, he is going to survive just fine. Yeah, and I was right. So it's 80% scaling for the AP.
Flyer.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sleepyhead going to be able to stun up Best Turtle OCE, but I'm not sure that's what they necessarily want, as they are going to be extremely low. Circlet is going to be running from Havoc. Havoc is going to get the knockup. Great.
Oh, he got the knockup.
Oh, the flash doesn't, or the hook doesn't land. The Circlet is going to be exhausted here. Will it be another flash forward? And that's going to be the stun up, the heal up, and the flash forward from X-Ray Goggles. Going to be trying to kite now onto Sleepyhead. Sleepyhead is going to hit the stun on him, and this should be a kill for free, as a solo kill comes out for Sleepyhead. But I think they're okay with that because X-Ray Goggles did pick up the kill.
Oh, he got it.
Ooh. Oh, the good Trundle pill. Yurashiku is going to have to flash the wall here. The double flash over. They say, no, you thought. And Tom Kench going to be having his body stolen and abducted by Best Turtle OCE.
It's really abducted. I think just stolen. Well, actually, well, it's dead, so it's not like, or is it?
He wore his body like a skin.
But it is a stolen, but I don't think abducted.
He abducted his corpse, but Best Turtle OCE is going to be running away. Sleepyhead going to be able to get the stun, and actually they trade stuns here. Pink Ward is going to be utilized as they teleport immediately comes out of the pillar. Gonna be able to hit the slow off, but will it stun anyone up? Here comes Rise off the backside, and this is gonna be a TK coming over the wall here. Here comes the stun onto Yoshiko. It does come through. Heka Mask off is kind of low on mana and does not have anything left, and he is gonna go down here. Will Sleepyhead go down first? No, he won't. If Sleepyhead had gone down, Trundle could have survived with that passive, the flash away. Will it be enough though? Tongue Lash gonna hit the stun, and this is not where they want to be. Between a rock and a hard place, and only Best Turtle OCE is going to survive. And 2 kills going over to OMT.
Yeah, and really nice answer by OMT this time. They TP the Tam Kench there to help support with pink ward. And I think to me, the person that missed there is Bestor OC, because he tried to go separate ways with the team. If he does go and collapse with the rest, they probably can get the first kill, and when you get the first kill with the Viego, you pretty much can win the fight because of the reset passive. But because he ends up just going separate, he just ends up screwing his team with that.
And on top of that, let's talk about that Trundle passive really quick. For those of you that don't know, Trundle heals for a percentage of max HP. We'll talk about it in a second here, as Havoc is going to be very low, but Circlet is also very low. So it's 2 to 7% for his passive for enemy max HP whenever it dies. So if a champion dies and has 2,000 health, you heal for anywhere 2% to 7% of their max HP. But if one of those champions would have died, it might have been enough. Yoshika is going to be getting ganked here. Will it be enough? The Trundle pillar has not been utilized just yet. Yoshika still has the gray health. Is going to pop the shield. Here comes. Oh, they did it. Oh, they did it just at the right time. The bite was enough to take him down.
And I was going to say they are not going to use it until he actually just goes for the motion, but they do commit it there. Luckily, they are, like you're saying, they just deal enough damage to be able to be at a threshold where it doesn't matter. But it's a really nice executed gank, no flash on the Tam Kench, another good advantage for the Trundle. And going back to your point on the Trundle, it's kind of having, if the target has a lot of health, it's kind of having the, what is called, there's a rune on the yellow side of the runes that does have the health back. I don't remember on top of my head, but it works kind of like that.
This gives you extra healing.
Yeah.
You have is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about Second Wind?
Triumph. I'm talking about Triumph.
Oh, Triumph isn't in green. It's in the precision tree, the yellow tree.
Yeah, precision. I was thinking about that. It's kind of that to a certain degree, because you do get a little bit of health with the members that die close to you.
Yep, but it also works with minions and Baron and everything. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
So it's much more, it kind of has much more value for the Trundle. So that's why you do want to try and fight and get a kill with him, because that way you can just survive long enough that you can get much more kills with him.
Oh yeah, it's kind of nice actually. Very, very appreciated.
Yeah, and as a laning passive, it makes much more easy to trade if you do have the means there. Oh, hook
off, but it doesn't matter, as X-Ray Goggles is going to be able to kite away. Iberkai is going to go very low. Circlet, or is going to die actually. Circlet going to be able to wind wall the Blitzcrank hook, and is that going to be enough? The barrier not enough, as Samira's body also stolen after she's dead.
Yeah, he's just getting a pile of corpses that he's using to get advantages all around the map. He has stolen, I think he has stolen twice Tam Kenches, and it just wants the other members, but really nice gank. Best Turtle, knowing where to be at what moment, is able to be there at the right time. Even though they get a really nice hook on X-Ray Goggles, it doesn't matter. The answer is really good, and then it's just an easy run down on the Samira and the Blitzcrank. And the bot lane that we were thinking can be the positive side with the Blitzcrank, if the Blitzcrank hits the hooks. Even when he hits the hooks, it just doesn't feel like it matters.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It just feels like they just can't do anything, and they're not even to the point where it shows that they have no damage. I don't know. This has just been a very interesting matchup so far.
Yeah, I think that's why I also don't like a lot the Samira. Maybe it has to do a little bit with the passive from the Samira, that you get the double knockup, but I think with a Varus, you do have enough damage to be able to burst someone, especially because the Jarvan is going for the AP, more of the AP route, so you can burst a squishy Jarvan like that. Same with the Kai'Sa, and you do have a lot of lane priority with the Varus, so I feel like that way you can at least make much more of a case for the Blitzcrank there, but in here I don't feel like you have the damage.
The thing is if you go Varus, your team after lane phase literally has no DPS.
Which is also true, yeah.
So
That's
you
the risk
like
with the Morgana meta.
it makes it very, very interesting. The draft phase here. But I mean, I will say this is the smallest gold lead that G7 Mirage has had by 10
Yep.
minutes out of all 3 games. So who knows?
Yeah, importantly, I think the value from this composition, I think it's probably going to show when they do get set up for Drake. So if they are able to begin setting up for Drake and they get picks, ideally if they do get the damage and are able to take advantage of that, then we're going to see the true value out of this composition. It's just if they do get there.
As they are going to be diving, Cataclysm is going to be utilized, and the knockup,
Oh.
to get out. Killer Instinct is going to be used, as she is going to be able to dive through. Ironbreakai is going to be running for his flash forward, and Havoc is going to be going gold. Its Circlet is incredibly low, and is going to actually serve. Oh my God, Havoc survives. They weren't able to get anybody. Heket Maskoff going after Yoshiku. Ultimate has dissipated as Flyer is trying to flash away, does go on to the rise, but I don't think that's necessarily what they want, as Sleepyhead is, oh my gosh, that's going to be a double kill, and nobody died from G7 Mirage. What looked like an immaculate dive by OMT turned absolutely tragic, as Heket Maskoff is running for his life.
He was, I don't know if he was diving, but yeah, what you're saying, it's totally correct. It looked like the correct play to go for, and a really nice play, but it just got immaculately outplayed by Havoc and by X-Ray Goggles. They played that so well. Oh,
it's almost like they have no damage.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I gotta say, Havoc played that so well. The double knockup into the Cataclysm to secure the targets, even though he got, I think, knocked up by the Blitzcrank, it was so perfectly executed. And yeah, because they couldn't kill the Kai'Sa, she got the Killer Instinct, she ran away. It was just a really nice counter by every means possible. Maybe they can get this played. I don't know if turret, but played.
And that's going to be the exhaust coming out of the knockup.
Oh.
And oh, no way. Okay, I was going to say there's no way he survives again. Circlet is going to be able to ult here. Best turtle OCE trying to... Great flash forward. He is going to get knocked up, though. One last auto attack, and that's going to be enough. Ironbreakai is trying to run for his life. Best turtle OCE going to be able to go through and finishes him off the ulti. Going to be running at Sleepyhead, waiting for the knockup, waiting for the hook. Does get the hook, is going to get the pull, and he's going to be swapping back now. But will he go down, actually? Best turtle OCE going to flash away.
Here's the
Not
frog.
flash away, going to dash away.
Wait.
Oh, and they
This
don't...
was his life.
He just broke their ankles.
Oh, wait.
No way! Okay, never mind. He got hit by the binding, and he got hit by the knock.
Yeah.
Down going over. I thought that... Oh, and Havoc takes the Skull Crab. I thought that man was about to make it away with murder.
If he survives there, I just feel like the mental from OMT gets broken completely. Like that I think it's probably the last straw that breaks something up. But at least they get the kill. They get the Drake. And first turret down for G7 Mirage is also really valuable. The Trundle didn't... Oh yeah, Trundle got cancelled by the Temkinch previously, so he didn't have any way to support the fight, but he's doing Trundle things, just being able to get the pressure on top lane. Oh, weird.
Properly, and Sleepyhead is going to pay the piper. There's no damage here. And I cannot believe he buffered that properly and made it out alive.
It's twice that
Well
he has done
done.
that, I think. Oh, Flyer?
Flyer is very low, playing with fire.
I just realized that OMT going for that play gave so much free time for Trundle and Tumbling that he took 2 turrets alone, without Herald or anything.
I mean, when your bite is on a 3-second cooldown, and it can hit towers, and you have a Sheen proc, and you have a massive attack speed boost, those towers don't stand a chance.
And you have a massive club.
A giant icicle.
Is it a club made of... It's a club made of ice, right?
Yeah, it's technically a true ice club, and here comes the hook, is going to land, and that is going to be Trundle going down, does not have anything to survive with, cannot get anywhere, and he is going to go over.
He blocked himself out with that pyro. He tried, but he still did what he needed to do. He pushed the 2 waves. He ends up dying, and for OMT,
really nice punish. They at least they bought themselves 20 seconds without the Trundle putting pressure on the sideline, and being able to secure this Herald is really nice. Also, the two drakes that they did secure are really important because it's a Mountain Soul. So getting the extra stats for the to resist any kind of burst from the Kaisa or the Rise is really important, I feel like. And oh no,
Viego got the Rift Herald. He's going to be fighting, and they just have no damage to deal with him. He's going to be ulting forward, but Sleepyhead with great fancy footwork there. He is going to best
nice flash.
have to dash away. He's going to be healing for so much, though. Killer Instinct from X-Ray Goggles, and oh my gosh, they just have no damage. The knock-up and the hook, Yoroshiku going to go down as well, and another abduction onto the TK. There's just no damage. There's no damage to be found. Havoc could be dealing on to Circlet there, but gonna be able to back off.
I feel like even Havok has much more damage than the rest of the members from OMT Ares. Oh no, Circlet.
And that is gonna be 4 members all going on to Circlet at the same time. Ford and Steel City Warrior is gonna be able to pick up the kill, but at what cost?
Oh, he
The
missed.
cost was his life.
The minions. The minions stood in front of him, and that has stopped the Q damage from going through, but he still gets a kill.
Oh, the Traveler
oh no.
is going through, and wow, they just want the tower. They don't care. Sleepyhead just gonna get slowly burned away by this Trundle ultimate. Subjugate just doing so much, man.
Yeah, he used the subjugate to send off a message much more than to actually do anything with it. Just stealing the stats and killing the turrets like a good Trundle. I feel like Jarvan could have gone just glass cannon this game, even if he does have the area and the AP route is good. Like with the way that this game is going, if he goes glass cannon, I think that's also an option.
Well, he's going glass cannon, just full glass cannon AP.
AP glass cannon.
Zonia's is finished. I wonder what he's building that last chapter into. Probably a Ludens, if I had to guess.
I hope it's a relay, just because that way you get the burn with every flag that you drop.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably I think that there's also a case for Everfrost. You get much more CC and
It could be
extra
Everfrost,
cooldown.
especially when you flag a dragon.
And it's extra CD, extra ability haste, so it's also valuable in that regard.
Here comes the Flash Cataclysm forward, and the Rise ulti immediately goes through. He sacrifices his life, but they are able to just rip through everybody. Steel City Warrior is actually going to go down here to the Morgana. And X-Ray Goggles and Sleepyhead fighting onto the backside, but it just does not matter. It is going to be 2 for 4. Only TK survives.
Yeah, and Steel City Warrior is just a bait. Same with Havok. They just die to make their teammates look better. Pretty nice double kill there. Temkin it's trying to come to get in range with the W so that they can kill X-Ray Goggles, but I just think it's going to be an easy Drake for the side of GC and Mirage. There shouldn't be any contest here.
And 9, almost 10,000 gold lead at 18 minutes.
Also, with this Drake going down for GC and Mirage, the Dragon Soul win condition for OMT Ares just goes down the drain, because there's no realistic way that in the next 4 minutes they secure that Drake as well, with them being 10,000 gold behind. I don't think there's any realistic way they can secure that, so it's way too much time that they need to be able to come back, and there's no realistic way that they can come back in that small amount of time.
Flying and drag over the wall, Circlet is going to be exhausted and is going to just get beat, sticked down. Rise is going to hit the Everfrost on Sleepyhead, and he's going to go down. Teleport is coming through. Flyer
and
is going to be able to drop the ultimate. Nice triple knockup by this Jarvan. Good Cataclysm as well, but he's got to drop it though. Imberkai gets hit by the Morgana ultimate, and that's going to be him going down as well. And that is going to be a clean ace coming over for G7 Mirage.
Yeah, and the only reason they're not going for Baron is because there's no Baron. Oh, it seems like
Might be game.
Yeah, that's it. They can really just push and finish this with the Herald.
Unceremonial ending. They just win yet again.
Yep. Pretty much the name of this series is just G7 Mirage just winning.
Do they get There's no way they get Shelly Dance, right? They get the Shelly Dance!
Oh no! What a way to win the last game of the series.
No kidding. And G7 Mirage coming in massive 3-0 victory over Omega Titan Esports Aries. And that was absolutely that was an absolute obliteration.
Yeah, destruction, obliteration, decimation. I don't think there's better words to describe than those. It's just complete. This is kind of what we expected of G7 Mirage coming in. They
Mm-hmm.
will be the team to beat, and that they will be really strong. But it's way past our imagination when they beat teams like this.
It's crazy. I mean, first seed versus second seed, and it didn't look like that at all. And that's not to take anything away from Omega Titan Esports Aries. They had a phenomenal season. They played really well all season, but it just really seems like G7 Mirage was on just a completely different level than everyone else.
Yeah, right now it feels like comparing one of the hills behind your house to Mount Everest. It's just that huge of a difference right now
Mm-hmm.
between teams.
And I think we actually
Ooh.
have an interview here. Looks like we're going to be pulling an interview in just a second. Don't go anywhere, guys. Looks like we have Steel City Warrior coming in. Steel City Warrior, how did that series feel to you?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. As fun as you can be playing Lulu 2 games.
So was the ban in game 3 to make sure you didn't have to play it?
It actually was, yes.
That makes much more sense.
We were like they stubbed out their Fiora one trick pony and we're like, we don't have a third banner. Like, we'll just ban it from ourselves.
That makes a lot of sense. I thought it was tactical, but it makes much more sense, especially in that regard. And you still performed really well with the Rise. Obviously, the Ludo was the best pick in the series, but I can leave it at that.
Well, congratulations, first off. 3-0, man. That is... You guys had a one hell of a season.
Yeah. I really like... I
Hmm?
appreciate whoever on the power rankings, whoever like gave them 2 games in their predictions.
Well, that would
Gave
be
them lost confidence.
that'd be Red.
That'd be our
The headmaster, Red.
main,
That would be
the
him.
main head.
When we were off cast, PVS, TDS, and I were all talking after game 2, and I didn't even know that there was the predictions coming out. And I'm like, as much as I don't want to BM OMT, I mean, after watching G7 Mirage play like 4 times now, I'm like, I don't see anybody even taking a game off them.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
we
that's
saw
crazy.
after our game ended, the PVS bet like 11K points on us. He was cashing in out here.
Oh yeah, PVS wanted that money, man. He wanted the money.
He's the main man that has trusted you since the start. I remember at the start of the season, he was the one that said, because of the first game that happened and you guys entered, he said you guys would go unbeaten, and pretty much I think you have lost one game in all season, one individual game.
Yeah. We think that we intend to see them in the winter or grand finals, the USC team.
Okay. I think they are going to be the surprise team, and I think they can probably pull it. I
Are
think they
they?
can probably pull it. But we will wait to see.
I mean, if they win this series, that'll be their third all season. So
Well, to get back to the interview, I guess. Do you have any final words for future opponents or anything like that?
it's don't come in with too high hopes. Just accept what's coming. It's okay. It's happened to people before you. It'll happen to people after.
So you already have a place ready to put yourselves as the season 1 senior class champions, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. They've already dug the graves for all of their opponents. They're just waiting to put them there. So
exactly, yeah. It's like that Grim Reaper meme.
Oh yeah. Although I feel like you
from door to door.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Someone should make that meme. Someone should make that meme for you guys.
I thought that was for underdog teams that were taking better teams. But in the case of G7, they are like the last door, but it's like a iron door with full steel plates and things like that. Nobody can enter, nobody can destroy them.
There's just a Lulu standing in the way.
Pretty much.
Well, thank you so much for stopping in, Steel City Warrior, and for your kind words. Much less toxic than last week.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, we appreciated it, but come on. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your time, Steel City Warrior. So, and then good luck with all future matches, man.
Yep, thank you.
No problem. But yeah, so that is going to be it for the casted games tonight between G7 Mirage and OMT. And yeah, so that is going to be also it for the cast. So on behalf of myself, PVS, TDS, Headmaster Ed, and everyone here at Runeterra Academy. Yeah, sorry, what?
Just before we end, for everyone still there, don't forget to follow the channel so that you are up to date with every place. I wanted to make it up, but okay.
No, you go for it. You go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at this. For everyone that wants to get up to date with anything that happens on Runeterra Academy and want to follow every league, because it's not only senior, we have other 4 classes that are really good and that are really fun to watch. Just hit the follow button and be up to date with anything that happens here in Runeterra.
Yeah, and that being said, guys, on behalf of myself, PVS, TDS, Headmaster Ed, and everyone else here at Runeterra Academy, we thank you so much for your support, whether it's through follows or subs or whatever it may be, or viewership, anything. We hope that you guys enjoy the cast, and we will see you next time.